Hi guys, so today I'm doing a video on water changes for my Planet Betta tank. It's not a how-to, it's more of how I do my water changes. So if I do anything wrong, please let me know if I'm doing anything wrong so I can correct that in the future. But for now, I'll show you what I'm doing and how I go about doing my water changes. I do water changes twice a week actually for a 5-gallon. And since it is water change day for me, I'll be showing you how I do it. This right here is the siphon that I use just so that I can remove all the waste, the fish waste that accumulates on the bottom of my tank. And I do have sand, so the way I siphon it will be a little different. And like I said, I do water changes twice a week, so you'll see what I do. Oh, and here's the bucket that I store all the old dirty water in and dump it later in the plants outside. So the first thing that I do is remove the light fixtures that I have on top of the tank. I don't have one of those fancy ones, but I am saving my money to buy one. I was thinking of the Phoenix Stingray because my tank is a low-tech tank, so I feel like the Stingray would be perfect for this tank. And so now what I do is I put that light in the corner so that I get somewhat of a better view of the tank without taking it completely off. So now what I do is I remove the driftwood that I have on here, and that piece of Anubis keeps falling out, so I always end up fixing that. I take out the driftwood and I take out that beta log in the corner. And as you can see, there's my autocat that just fell. And here he is in the corner because he's afraid of my beta because he is aggressive, and autocats are peaceful, but he has a lot of hiding spots. He does poop a lot, quite a bit actually. If you see right now, that's a lot of poop. That's why I try my best to do 2 water changes once a week, because all of that can produce a lot of ammonia and a lot of nitrites and nitrates. So I do my water changes to keep it down. So what I do now is remove the beta log that I have in there and start siphoning the tank. Okay, so I know that people say to do 25 to 30% water change, but for me, I like to do a gallon, at least 1 gallon. So I kind of eyeball it depending on how much water it is in the tank and how much is in the bucket, and that's how much I replace. And like I said, it's usually about a gallon, not 25 to 40%. And here you can see all of the fish waste that accumulated over time in a matter of 4 days actually, so that's quite a lot. So now I kind of just rearrange the plants in the way that looks good to me. And this dwarf sedge was kind of growing in the back of the log, so I took the time to kind of just move it in the front where it's more visible. So I have about 4 of these gallons of dechlorinated water. I let them sit out about a week and alternate between the 4 gallons. And so what I do now is pour it slowly onto the driftwood that I have and let the tank fill up. Now what I do is add Flourish Excel and Flourish, and they're just mainly for my plants, but because the Flourish is really concentrated, I tend to do 8 to 9 drops with an eyedropper. I do the Flourish once a week and the Excel every other day, and I usually do around 2 milliliters for the Excel because it's recommended to dose it accordingly to your tank. So after adding the fruits, all I do now is put the light fixtures back and put the cover back on so the fishes don't jump out, and plug the heater back in. I don't unplug my filter just because the water doesn't go below the intake, the tube intake, so I just let it cycle through and catch all the debris that gets rustled around while I do my water changes. But yeah, that's about it. That's how I do my water changes. And if you do have any recommendations to going about um, doing my water changes, please let me know. And if I did something wrong, please let me know, because I've only had this tank for only about a month and my fish for 3 to 4 months. So yeah, thanks for watching.